Hi, my name is Sam and welcome to InstructorLive. Today we're going to be doing a Pyjama Pilates class. Just remember, I can't see you, you can only see me. So if you have any questions or comments or silly jokes, you can send them through and I'll answer them through the session. Make sure that you've got something comfortable to lie on so you can see the screen in comfort. And if you need a drink or something during the session, we will have a break between different exercises where you can have a sip. But let's get started today. If there's anything in particular any of you'd like to focus on today, just let me know during the session and we'll just get some target areas there too. Right, so let's start in a nice standing position. In fact, I'm just going to stand at the back of my mat, give you the side version because we're going to go straight down into a nice plank as well after this. So we're going to start with our feet in parallel and we're going to have that feeling of lengthening up through the crown of the head, making sure the back of the neck is long and we're keeping the ribs nice and heavy. And we're going to slowly nod the head to the chest, then roll through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Starting to loosen up that spine, loosen up the hamstrings. At the bottom, you're going to bend one leg, sink the chest towards the knee, and then change, and last change, and then slowly rolling back up, sliding the shoulders down the back and lengthening tall. Two more. Rolling through the spine. Using the abs to guide the spine. Let the arms hang heavy. Let the head relax. And you can circle the arms around in the shoulder joints, just loosening up. And then rolling back up, restacking and lengthening tall. Let's get a little bit of rotation now. So we're going to roll through the spine. As you get to the bottom, bend one leg. Then towards the other leg, you're going to open the hand up to the ceiling, rotating around, just warming up. And then back to center, other side, opening out, lean into the toes so you get a full stretch. And once more each side, opening out, abs drawing in. And then release back to center. Last one on the other side. And then rolling back up, restacking and lengthening tall. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of a sequence first. So just have a look first before you join in. We're going to roll through the spine, bend the knees, then come into a plank position. We're going to hover one leg up, push back into the other leg, lifting that leg to the ceiling. Hang the heel down to the floor so you get that lovely calf stretch. Coming back into a plank, lift the other leg up, back into a plank, lift the bottom up, walk the hands back to the feet and rolling back up into standing. We're going to do 3 sets of those. So I'll talk you through it. Feet in parallel, big breath in. And rolling through the spine, guiding through with those abs, walking into a plank position, hands under the shoulders. Lift one leg up, push back into the other leg. Hang that heel to the floor, don't twist in the pelvis, hips face the mat. Then back into a plank, lift the head. Push out with the other leg, again level pelvis, coming back into a plank position, then lift the sitting bones. Walk the hands in a straight line towards the feet and rolling back up. 2 more, let's get that flow going. Walking through and lift, push back, come back to plank, lift the other leg, back to plank, then lift both sitting bones. Walk the hands and rolling back up. Last set, rolling through, walking into plank, lift one leg, reach to the ceiling, back and other side. Keep breathing. Then lifting both, walk the hands back and rolling up into standing. You should feel a little bit out of breath maybe, just get the blood pumping a bit. Okay, coming into a sitting position. We're going to start with our legs in front of us. Legs glued together. Make sure you've got enough space behind you on your mat. We're going to go for a nice warm up again, but this time in sitting. So, arms in line with the shoulders. You want to make sure that you're right on those sitting bones. We've got a question from Kerry. Can we have some more core strength exercises today? No problem. You might regret saying that, Kerry, but you'll enjoy it. Okay, so big breath in. And we're going to scoop back, rolling through that spine. One vertebra at a time. Hands come up to the ceiling as we breathe in, lifting the head, lifting the shoulders, looking over those legs. And we're going to kind of do like a little length of the leg, and then reaching tall. And let's do another 3 like that. Warming up those abs, which are going to go so well with our core exercises. And then big breath in, hands reach up, then the head, then the shoulders, then the rib cage. Dive over the legs, walk the legs, and reaching tall. 2 more. Breathing out, rolling through. Breathing in. And breathing out, coming up, diving over. Walk, loosen up that pelvis. Last one. And scooping back. Arms coming back up. Diving over the legs and reaching up nice and tall. Right, now let's go a little bit more into those abs, and this is we're going to talk a lot about core as well, because they have a huge part to play, and these are really good exercises to build up that stamina in your core. So you're going to scoop back, you're going to bend the legs and then pick them both up into tabletop. Arms either side of the shins, and we're going to balance on those sitting bones using those abs and your core to hold you there. Don't forget to breathe. You want to breathe into the back and side of the rib cage, holding for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. If you do need to break before this next exercise, you can, but we're going to try to straighten one leg forward, open the arms to the side. Bring it back, other side. Breathing out and breathing in. And we're going to do another 4 each leg. And breathe out, bring it back. As everything opens, your abs really have to work to stabilize yourself. And I've lost count, but let's just do once more each side. And breathing out, breathing in, lower one leg down, then the other, and diving over those legs. Now, part of your core strength, Kerry, has also got to do with your obliques, so the muscles that wrap around the rib cage. Lots of people think it's just the front abs, but we really need to make sure that we're strong on the sides of the torso too. So we're going to scoop back. Now, if it's too much with the legs up in tabletop, you can keep them down on the floor. We'll gradually build ourselves up to there anyway. But legs up on tabletop. Palms down to the floor, scoop the abs in, relax the shoulders, and we're going to twist to one side. So we're balancing, stabilizing with the core, and working those obliques. Back to center, breathing out to rotate, breathing into center, and another 4 each side. Making sure you're not pushing your abs out, you're scooping them in. And 2 more each side. Get as much twist as you can, but don't just do the arms. Get the rib cage moving. That's where the true strength comes in. And then lower the legs and then diving over them. Okay, let's lie down onto our backs, stretching that lower back, hands on the knees. You're going to circle the knees around, so we're just loosening up those hips. If you need a drink of water now, you can. And then circling in the other direction. Right, okay. Now, we're going to have our legs in a parallel alignment, releasing the tailbone to neutral, so that feeling of having the natural gap under the lower back while in this rested position. Then you're going to bring the hands behind the head. Big breath in to prepare. Make sure your shoulders are nicely relaxed away from the ears. And you're going to curl up into your abdominal platform, keeping that tailbone in neutral. Shoulder blades are right off the floor and a little gap under the chin so you're not pulling on the neck. Picking one leg up to tabletop. Pick the other leg up to meet it. Now we're going to twist to one side, keeping the bottom shoulder off the floor, and back to center. Breathing out, breathing in. And another 3 each side. Make sure you're not just rolling from one side of the mat and to the other side. Get off the floor and twist in the sky. And once more each side. Lift and twist. Center. Breathing out, breathing in, and release back down. So we should be feeling quite warm on those abs now. We're going to go a little bit more into them. So hands stay behind the head. Big breath in to prepare. We're going to curl up onto that abdominal platform. Release the tailbone to neutral. Both legs come up into tabletop. Now the top half is going to stay locked into this position. And then the legs are going to do a little hip roll to one side. And then bring it back. Breathing in to go over. Breathing out to bring it back. Make sure as the legs are going over to one side, you're not twisting to the other side. You want to keep locked through your center. Inhale and exhale. And another 2 each side. Making sure you're not losing that height off the floor. And last one each side. And rotate, center, and release back down. Often that's quite a killer, especially because the upper abs are holding and stabilizing while the lower abs are moving and working the waistline too. So we're going to go a little bit more now into the abs, and I want you to really breathe for one in this exercise and try to feel in your body where it needs adjusting as we do this movement, because it's going to be a holding exercise, which means you have time to get the control and the precision with each movement. So your leg is going to start, one in tabletop, other leg along the mat. Hands come behind the head. Big breath in to prepare. You're going to curl up onto your abdominal platform, locking the rib cage to the floor. Then opposite arm reaches to the outside of the bent leg. Lift and twist against it. I want you to feel the rotation of the rib cage. I want you to feel the connection of the abs and the obliques. And I want that bottom shoulder off the floor. If you want a challenge, lift the other leg up. And you're going to hold it there for 5. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand comes in the inside of the knee. Pull yourself up a bit higher, twist a bit further, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back down. You should have felt that really nicely in those abs. Now over to the other side, other leg in tabletop, curling up onto that abdominal platform. Remember to keep your pelvis in neutral. Opposite arm to the bent leg, lift and twist, bottom shoulder off the floor. And for the little extra challenge, lift the other leg, holding there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand in the inside of the knee, pull yourself up a bit higher, twist a bit further, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back down. That's really challenging doing that talking the whole time. So give your tummy a nice little bit of a rub there. We're going to go into some single leg stretch now, and then we're going to finish up with some hundreds, okay? So I'll demonstrate the exercises for you just so that you're familiar with them. Single leg stretch is this movement, and you're just going to move those legs, same hand, same ankle. We're going to do 10 of those, and then we're going to take it into hundreds. These are the different leg variations. The retired position or the beginner position, we're going to do this movement. Otherwise, straighten the legs or have the legs turned out. Okay, the lower the legs go, the harder it is. Let's go into single leg stretch to start. So, big breath in to prepare. Curling up into a tight little ball. Then straighten one leg out, pick the other leg up to tabletop. Pull yourself up to that leg. I'm just going to change legs so you can see. Same hand reaches for the same ankle, and we're going to change. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back down. So, very important in any abdominal exercise is to make sure that your pelvis is working with you, not against you. So don't kind of lift one side off the mat as you're doing it. Don't arch the rib cage off the floor. Keep it locked so you're not straining in the back. Very important information to take note of, especially when doing the hundreds. So let's get into this position. For the hundreds, we're going to be doing what we call percussive breathing. Very good for cleansing the lungs. In Pilates, we always talk about lateral breathing. So breathing into the sides of your rib cage, because if you're breathing into your tummy, you're going to keep losing that ab connection and you're really going to struggle to hold that position. So breathing 5 long, one long in breath for 5 counts, 5 short out breaths. I'll do it with you though if you're not sure. So curling into a tight little ball. Take a deep breath in to prepare. Then bringing the legs into whichever position you'd prefer. So tabletop or straight legs or turned out legs. And breathing in 2, 3, 4, 5, out. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out. So if you've got neck issues, you can alternate supporting the head. Breathing in 2, 3, 4, 5, out. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out. You want to keep going and make sure that, again, your shoulders aren't dropping on the floor. Otherwise, you're going to start to compensate in the neck and you're going to keep going. So, breathing in 2, 3, 4, 5, out. Let's just do 20 more. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out. In 2, 3, 4, 5, out. And releasing back down. Those abs should feel really nice and warm. Mine certainly do. Arms out above the head, legs along the mat. Take a deep breath in to prepare. And just flop yourself into a lovely relaxed position. Right, now we're going to reverse that movement. And we're going to work into the back of the body now. So we always call it extension. Lying down onto your tummy. We're going to start with the hands by your side. A little imaginary ice cube underneath the belly button so you're supporting that lower back throughout the exercise. So, big breath in to prepare. We're going to hover the arms up, lift the head and chest so we rested onto the rib cage. If you're not sure, have a look at me first. So if you need a drink, now's the time. And you're going to just hold it in this position. Lift one leg up as you do a little side bend to the opposite side and bring it back. Breathing out, breathing in. And we're going to do 4 of those each side. So don't lift the chin up. Keep it drawing down so the back of the neck is long. So hovering up. Lift one leg up, bend to the other side without dropping to the floor. Keep that height. Back to center. Breathing out. Breathing in. Again, be aware of what your pelvis is doing. Don't let it lift from side to side. And breathing out, breathing in. And, sorry, I'm doing to the opposite leg. Sorry. And 2 more. Last set. And once you've done the last one, release back down. Wiggle the pelvis from side to side if you need to. Right, now we're going to go a little bit more into those abs. And we're going to go into what we call Superman. So one hand above the head, other hand down by your side. You're going to turn your head towards the arm that's on your thigh. Abs drawing in, big breath in to prepare. Now you're going to breathe out as you lift the whole shape off the floor. Then slowly you're going to circle the arms around, looking to the other side, and release back down. And other side, abs engaged. Exhale, hovering up. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale, back to the other side, and release back down. Now we're going to do another 4 each side. If you want the challenge, don't have a break between each set. So lifting up and circling around. And back to the other side. So you holding your back muscles as you adding the load and a little bit of movement into it. And really good for strengthening that back. Once more each side, circling around and release back down. Wriggle the pelvis from side to side and then coming up, reversing that curve, sitting back over those legs. Breathing into that stretch and just sighing nice and heavy. Right, now coming onto the forearms. This is for you, Kerry. Right, so elbows underneath the shoulders. Now's a very good time if you need to just wipe your brow or have a little sip of water. I'm going to do the half plank now, which you're going to join me in doing. So elbows are going to be underneath the shoulder. Whenever you're doing any kind of upper body work, you need to be correctly aligned, especially when the shoulders aren't that strong. So lift up through the chest. You want to curl those toes underneath you. Big breath in to prepare, and then breathing out. You're going to hover up into a half plank, not collapsing into that spine. You should feel no pain through the spine, and holding there for another 6 seconds. 5, 4. It's a feeling of lifting your belly button off your t-shirt. And 2, 1. And slowly releasing back down. Now, if you found that was a challenge enough, then I want you just to stick to this exercise. Otherwise, for those of you who want a little extra challenge, we're going to add it with one leg off the mat. So, very important, whenever you're doing any kind of exercises, keep the flow of oxygen going. If you hold your breath, you're going to not get enough oxygen to the working muscles, and you're really going to struggle to hold it. And you're probably going to get a little bit of lactic acid buildup in the muscles. So, big breath in to prepare. And breathing out, hovering up, lifting one leg up, holding for 5, 4, 3, keep a level pelvis, 2, 1, lower the leg, other side, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back down. Okay, right, now, coming up, sitting over those legs, arms in front of you again, take a big breath in, and just sighing nice and heavy. Right, now we're going to come into 4-point kneeling. Your legs are in parallel with your knees underneath your hips. We're going to do a little bit of core stability now, which is really good. This is a very good position to do it in. You want to make sure we're going to just warm up a little bit. So we're going to open our hands about as wide as a mat distance apart, but your legs are going to stay in parallel. Now we're just going to loosen up a little bit through the hips and through the body. So we're going to push the bum over to one side, sit down onto the same heel, roll to the other heel, lift up, lean forward into the hands, and circling around. So you're drawing a nice big circle with the pelvis, warming up those hips, warming up the abs. And we're going to do 2 more, breathing in and breathing out. And then last one, and then just change the direction because we want to make sure those joints are nicely lubricated. It'll just give us a little bit more control. And then last one. And then we're going to walk our hands over to one side. Make sure the side of the body is nice and loosened up. Breathing into that stretch as you sit down. And then coming up over to the other side, sitting back, really stretching through. Notice if one side's a bit tighter than the other. Right, okay, coming up into 4-point kneeling. Make sure hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, so we're nicely supported on all fours. Right, now we're going to start with a little bit of a balance exercise. So this really is important, is to make sure you're not collapsing on the shoulders. You really want to use those back muscles we've been working and really lift up into that upper body. Now, opposite arm and opposite knee open out to the sides. Make sure you're not twisting in the pelvis. You're keeping a nice level pelvis. And you're not collapsing on the shoulder. So lift the chest up, closing back to center. Other side, start by doing all the little setup checks. So lift the chest, abs in without tilting the pelvis. Keep it in neutral, open out to the side. So we're working into the side of that glute. Close it back. And breathing out to open, breathing in to close. And notice if one side feels easier to do than the other. Sometimes we have stronger sides in the body compared to the other. And breathing out, breathing in. Last one each side. And other side. And releasing back down. If you need to, come off the wrists a little bit. Give them a nice little circle. Just stretching through. Now, if you know your knees need a little extra cushioning, I'm not sure what your mat is. This is a nice Pilates mat, so it's nice and thick. But if you need a little extra cushioning for the next exercise, just pop your jersey or a pillow off the couch and just pop them underneath the knees for this. I'll just demonstrate the exercise first. So we're going to lift both of the feet up off the floor. We're going to start off by warming into that glute. So we're going to lift the leg up. We're going to do 10 of those. And then we're going to do another balance exercise. So we're going to lift the leg up, hold it there, and then hover the opposite arm off the mat. And we're going to try hold it. It looks a little bit easier than it actually is, so let's give it a go. So, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, lift up through the chest, abs drawing in. Make sure you're not lifting up that neck. I know if you're straining to look at me, just listen to my voice rather, because you want your chin drawing down. Now, both feet come off the floor, so we're balancing on the knees. Then, we're going to lift one leg off the mat, lower back down, breathing out, breathing in, and another 8, 7, 6. So we're working the muscle that helps to lift the bottom cheeks up, and we're really just giving a bit of a stretch through the hip as we lift that leg up. And 2 more, 1, 2, you're going to hold it in that position. Find that level pelvis. Slowly and with control, you're going to lift the opposite arm off that mat and try to balance there. I'm not going to look at you because then I will lose my balance. You see? Okay. And then releasing back down. Other side. Lift up through the chest. Abs engaged. And hover the other leg up and lower back down. So we're pushing into the glutes and then bringing it back. Breathing out, breathing in. Again, very important is you're not twisting in the pelvis. Keep that chest lifted. And another 5, 4, 3, 2. I just realized you're supposed to keep the other foot off the floor, but it doesn't really matter at this stage. And last one, holding it there. Find your abs, lift the chest up, slowly and with control, lift the opposite arm off the mat and try to balance there. And then come off those wrists and just circle them around. So core balance is very important. Lots of people think core strength is all about doing as many abs as you can. Yes, that has a huge factor, but it's also about those really small muscles that help to stabilize you. So doing balance and alignment exercises are really, really good for getting a proper core foundation to work from. So let's just circle those wrists around. Again, little reverse stretch. You can even kind of pull on the wrist, but down through those fingers. and give it a good shake. Right, let's go into the side of the body because it's really important. Whoops, and there goes my thing flying. Okay. As I said before, it's not just about working the front of the body and the back of the body. You need to be strong on the sides, especially if we tend to be quite lazy and we like flop a little bit to one side or the other while we're working on the computer. So we're going to sorry, I'm trying to move this and I keep pushing the thing out. Right. Let's lie down onto our sides. Bottom hand underneath the head. In fact, let's start with a nice warm-up first. So, hands in front of you. Legs are bent. You want to have the top hip pulling away from the shoulder so you've got that little lift of the waist off the mat, but the rib cage is heavy. Again, it's all about alignment when you're talking about core stability, core strength. So, hands in front of you. We're going to start with what we call around the world. And we're going to breathe in, arm circles above the head. Follow the hand with the head, circling all the way around and coming back. And breathing in, move the rib cage with that arm. And last one in that direction. Keep those knees anchored to the floor. And then change direction, circling around. Lift the arm up. And then bring it back. Now, as that arm comes above the head, make sure you're not scrunching up the shoulder to the ear. It's all about placement. So release the shoulder from the ear as it circles around. Last one. And then bring the bottom hand underneath the head. So, big breath in to prepare. And we're going to straighten one leg forward, flex the foot. And we're going to go into what we call side kick. So, it goes like this, kick, kick, point to reach back. So again, switching on the muscle that lifts the glute and then stretching the hamstrings as the leg comes forward. So big breath in, and we're going to go breathe out, breathe in to bring it back. Make sure the shoulders aren't rolling forward as you do the movement. Kick, kick, lengthen through. Remember, your leg can't go as far back as it can forward because your glute restricts the movement. So I don't want to be, I don't want to be seeing this kind of arching position, but I can't see you, so you can get away with it, but try not to do it. We're going to do 2 more. Kick, kick, lengthen back. Breathe out, breathe in. Then we're going to take that straight into leg circles for 10, 9, 8, really testing the range of that hip, feeling it stretch as the leg goes back, and another 4, 3, 2, 1, change direction, 10, 9, 8, notice if there's any kind of restrictions in the movement, if anything feels a bit tight. Really good to start to take note of your body, really get that awareness to different areas of the body. And then 2 more, 1 and 2, and release the leg down. Give it a good smack and a little bit of a rub there. Right, okay, straightening both of the legs along the mat. We're going to go into what we call heel beats. So abs are drawing in, hand on the floor if you need to get that extra bit of support, especially if you are wobbly. It just tells me you need to work a bit more on the core stability, finding the correct alignment. Legs are going to be glued together. And you're going to breathe out as you lift both legs up, switching on the waistline. Flex the feet, turn the feet out, little Charlie Chaplin ballerina legs, and you're going to open the heels and bring them back together. Breathing in, breathing out. And we're going to do another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. The more you turn out with those feet, the more connection you get into the glutes. But of course, we're also working those inner thighs. And I've lost count as usual, so I'm just going to do 2 more. 1 and 2. Hold it there. Point the toes. Make sure you're keeping that lovely alignment. Hand comes up to the ceiling. Again, relax the shoulder. And we're going to balance there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. Again, you should still be feeling it in the waistline, not in the back. One leg comes forward, one leg goes back, and change. If you need the support with the hand on the floor, that's fine. And change. Very good exercise to work your side core control. And another 5 more with flexed feet. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back down. Give everything a bit of a rub and a bit of a smack if you need to. Right, okay, now let's move over to the other side. Legs are bent up, hands in front of you. Nice little lift of the waist off the mat so your hips are nicely stacked. And we're going to go into an around the world. So we're going to circle around. Arm comes above the head. Look towards the hand. Circle around. Feel that lovely stretch through the chest and shoulders. And circling around. So even though the arm is circling around, I want you to actually think that the start of the movement is coming from the hip. So you're actually using the whole torso to stretch around. Then change direction. Coming down. Again, make it as big as you can. Reach those fingertips away from the hip. Watch the placement of the shoulder. And then once you've done your last one, pop your bottom hand underneath the head. Now we're going to go into the side kick. So again, nicely lined up pelvis. We're going to straighten the top leg, flex the foot, and we're going to go kick, kick, point to reach back. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Make sure you're keeping the leg parallel to the mat. And we're going to do another 6. Notice how this side of the body compares to the other. Is there a difference? Does it feel the same? And another 4. 3. As the leg comes forward, I want you to have the feeling now of pulling the hip back. So you're not kind of hitching up the hip, always keeping that length. And kick, kick, lengthen back, taking it into a circle with a flexed foot for 10. 9. Make the circle as big as you can control your center. And 7. 6. 5. Make sure you're not rolling the hip backwards. 4. 3. 2. 1. Change direction. And 10. 9, 8, 7, 6. Always have the feeling of someone pulling the foot away from the hip. So you're always getting that lean, lengthening sensation. And last one, and release back down. Give it a good smack and a little bit of a rub there. Right, okay, straighten those legs along the mat. Abs tucked into the spine. Hand on the floor if you need the support. Breathing out, you're going to lift both legs off the floor. Locking into your waistline. If you're feeling it in the back, bring the legs a little bit further forward of the body. Flex the feet, turn the feet out, and heel beats. Open and close. Breathing in, breathing out. If you want the challenge, hand up to the ceiling. And another 7, 6, 5, 2, 1. Hold it there. Point the toes. Find that lovely alignment. Again, you may be stronger on one side of the body compared to the other. Hand up to the ceiling, holding it there. You can lift those legs up a bit higher, really targeting that waistline. Holding for another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to go one leg forward, one leg back, and change. Change. Again, if you need the hand support, please use it. You know your body's limitations more than I do. Don't want to be like wobbling around like a giraffe on acid or anything like that. And we're going to go into a nice flex foot position. And another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release back down. Give it a good smack and a little bit of a rub there, just loosening up any tension. Right, now we're going to stretch out the body a little bit now. So coming back into four-point kneeling and then bringing one foot forward. Again, it's all about alignment and detail in Pilates. So ankle in line with the knee, not behind the knee. You want to keep it exactly in alignment. Other leg straight, and you're just going to sink your weight into your hip. So you're opening up that other hip. You might even get a bit of a stretch in the bent leg. Just let gravity stretch you out, breathing into it. With each breath out, have the feeling of sighing the pelvis a bit deeper, but keeping the back leg straight. Then walking the hands back and making sure that the front leg comes up onto the heel. If you're struggling to straighten that front leg, drop the back knee. You'll still get a stretch, but you'll be able to do it better. So again, it's always pulling the toes back. Make sure that your pelvis isn't twisted like I'm demonstrating now. Always have the hips in the center line. Breathing into that lovely stretch. And then drop the back knee. Front knee now bends, and then you're going to bring it up to between the hands. So the knee is in the center of the chest. Then the hip comes down onto the heel, and you're going to just rest your whole body weight onto the leg and just feel that lovely stretch through the bent leg, breathing into it. Very, very good stretch to those of you who get really tight in the hips and in the glutes and the thighs. Then you're going to walk your hands as far as you can over to one side. Doesn't matter which side, we're going to do both. Again, try keep the hip on the heel. It'll give you a different kind of stretch. Play around, see which one works best for you. And then coming up over as far as you can to the other side. Again, try keep the hip on the heel. And then coming back to center, hands either side of the knee. You're going to push up and then come into a lovely extension, which doesn't mean drop the abs and just collapse into the spine. I want you to have the feeling of pulling the abs in and pulling the rib cage back, and you'll actually feel a deeper stretch through the hip too. Okay, changing over to the other side. Leg bent, knee in line with the ankle, other leg straight, and then just let gravity stretch open the hip and the pelvis. Very important to make sure that we're not too tight in this area. It's the center of the body. All our movement comes from here, so we need to make sure we're both flexible and strong. Then walk your hands back, lift the front leg up onto the heel. Again, feel that lovely stretch. If you can't straighten that front leg, just drop the back knee down onto the floor. Again, you may find one side's a bit more tighter than the other. That's perfectly normal. If you can, on the tighter side, always hold for a little bit longer just to get more flexibility through it so you're even and symmetrical. And then drop the back knee, front knee, bend, bring it up to between the hands, knee in the center of the chest, and then bring the hip down onto the heel. Sighing forward, getting a good stretch, feeling that lovely stretch anywhere in this bent leg, wherever is most tight. And then walking as far as you can over to one side. Again, trying to keep the hip on the heel, breathing into that stretch. And then walking over as far as you can to the other side. Okay, coming back to center, then pushing up into those hands. Nice, strong upper body. Pull the abs in, pull the rib cage in, and look up to the ceiling. So you get a nice stretch through the hip again, into a bit of extension, and then coming up into standing. Shake out the legs, shake out the arms, just get yourselves a little bit more centered. Pull the trousers down if they've kind of scrunched up and gotten all weird. Feet in parallel, hip distance apart, big breath in, and we're going to finish up with the roll down, breathing in and then breathing out, rolling through again, letting the abs guide you through that movement. Walk the knees, circle the arms, and then rolling back up, restacking and lengthening tall. Last one, and rolling through the spine. Notice how wonderful your body feels now compared to the first time you did this. You can lift the toes onto the heels, supporting with the hands on the floor. Lift the heels and then rolling back up and lengthening tall. So we're done for today, and I hope to see you all next week.